brinjal, bacon, eggplant. So the star of this dish alongside the eggplant is the tamarind. Eggplant's a really typical Kashmiri vegetable and I really disliked it growing up. But as an adult, that sort of really rich, bitter profile of the eggplant is just a really gorgeous carrier for spice. So if you look at the texture of it, even as a vegetable, it has that quality of being able to absorb flavour and then hold it and give it back out again to the mouthful. So it's a pretty extravagant vegetable to use. So this is going on a high heat. And what I am going to do, because I can't resist, is I'm going to put a little bit of mustard oil into this vegetable oil just to increase the flavour capacity of the dish. Just a little bit, like 1/3 of a cup, but that's going to contribute another flavour layer. So astringent and hot and floral. The Kashmiri dishes, and in fact most regional Indian food in general, will have more than one step. This sort of step of cutting in a particular way, then treating by frying, and then treating in the pan with spice, builds stratas of flavour into your dish. This is the kind of texture you want. So we're going to heat some oil in the pan. So again, I'm going to use a little bit of mustard oil. So just a couple of tablespoons. Mustard oil is going to add a really floral, hot character, and we've already used it in the deep frying. So we're basically echoing the flavour profile. If you don't have mustard oil, you can use like a sesame oil with a little bit of vegetable oil in there. Will give you some kind of a bit of a hotter, nuttier character. Chili's going to go in first. Then 4 teaspoons of water. Now at this point we want to pop the eggplant in with the rest of the spicing. We've got 1 teaspoon of ginger, 2 of fennel. So ginger and fennel are going to add a really beautiful warm element to the dish and give it some depth as well. Asafoetida, this is the liquid here, so I'm going to do just a couple of drops really. That's a teaspoon. A fine white salt. Oh, I'm just going to taste it. Yeah, it's beautiful. Wow. Yeah, it's warm, but the fennel powder and the ginger powder creates enough volume that it absorbs some of the heat of that Kashmiri chili. When the tamarind goes in there, it's going to get a whole nother element and another lift. I think the one thing I would say is it does need a little bit of a lift from salt, but I don't want to use any more of that white salt because it's really quite strong. So what I'm going to use is I'm going to layer my salts in. When you layer the salts, what happens is the different levels of sodium and mineral content mean that you get a textured feeling with salt drive as opposed to one explosive landing spot for the salt and then an overwhelm. So this is an Indian black salt, but this has a little bit of sodium drive, but it has a really intense sort of savoury quality, which is going to complement the spice that's already in there. So about 1/3 of a teaspoon. I'm going to slip my little chilies. The benefit of tasting as you go is that you can fix the dish or you can change the spice profile in the dish as it's cooking, as opposed to getting to the end and then scrambling to create whole flavour or to create really textured flavour when there's missing pieces. Okay, so now tamarind, you can see here how it still has the seeds in here. So this is the paste. So you just want to remove the seeds. I need about 4 teaspoons. So, and then we need a cup of water in there. I'm going to cook that down. So this is another good opportunity to taste because in the cooking down process you can still bring in some other flavours if you need to. Yum. Everything's delicate in there. The acidity's delicate, the heat's delicate, the texture of the fennel and the ginger is very delicate. I think I'm always surprised by this very, very traditional Kashmiri Pandit food, in that even though visually the spice is striking and punchy and it can look a little combative, that the end result, because of the cooking process and the understanding of how to use ratios, that the end result is always soft, it's always elegant, and it's always delicious.